He just rocks it with that 26 RWS, God knows however much he wants to find. But either way, Smear aside, we're going to talk so much about him tomorrow. But for now, we want to talk about CeX and Imperial, because it is going to be us going live in towards train. It is the pistol round as well. CeX starting on that CT side, meanwhile Imperial over on the T side.
Yep, smoke in the hand of Jacob, and that smoke goes towards Ivy, I believe? Can't quite see where it is. But still, Connor and Cope slowly lurking down towards ramp, and they're going to push towards B, and the Molotov as well. That could be for the off plant.
Molotov is going to go on. That isn't actually going to be enough. Want glitch at all. Meanwhile, Reason right onto the head of Rezu. Astro, they're responding. He hasn't been dealt with at all, and this is great from him. But Connor and Reason, unfortunately, are going to really cut and dry. As JD trying to get a thorn in this opposition. But that is all but going to get blown on by Imperials. They just go so aggressive there.
How does that smoke land there? That is crazy.
I didn't even get to see it get thrown. So
I think it blooms through the wall. I'm not quite too sure there. But anyway, a lot of the times when you're throwing between train smokes and also Ivy smokes, she's chucking from there above Pop Dog, but still, that's a new smoke I haven't seen. I don't know how much I like it, just because you can see the CTs, they can actually push out quite far from connector, but I think that's why he buys the molly as well. Chuck the molly to counter that. Anyway, Wendansky here holding for a push from Arezu. He will be dropped, and already we're going to be seeing CeX going full eco. I can't actually see money when I push tab.
Yeah, that's I think it's a GoTV thing that's been a bit funky, so maybe that'll get sorted for you relatively soon, I'm sure. Everything on that front is being resolved, but meanwhile the action is still what we look towards, but it's not looking too healthy for CeX, is it? They're having to really just try and hope that these pistols will be ever so delightful for them. LS actually finding himself one in the process does bring it to a 4 versus 4, but unfortunately for CeX it feels like they're about to meet their maker. It's Imperial, with this firepower advantage, should just be able to win every single duel at this point. The only angle that could be exciting would have been JD, but Boaster on the timing is going to take him down. LS is just going to give himself up practically if he walks on forward here. The Galil going to make mincemeat of whatever he had left there. There's Reason on towards Astro. Already see one man, one deagle. Yes, he's good with it, but there's a limit.
4 players staying alive now for Imperial means the money on their T side will slowly build. SMG kills as well, 600 to boot. And yeah, it will be a full eco there for CeX. They're going for that double save. And a map like Train, I mean, they could pull out double AWP. You've got enough there for Astro and enough there for LS. I know that LS is the secondary AWP of this team as well. And 2 AWPs in the CT side, it does work. It is quite commonly played. But even then.
Yeah, just these pistols though still. So for Imperial, this is a money-making round. That's the kind of immediate part to it. His Reason is going to be there with the UMP to make sure that when Rezu drops, he shall get it ever so gracefully. Boaster on towards LS. It's going to be all fairly scripted at this point. CeX trying to face off, but fighting into this one a little bit too much. Astro and Co will at least combine themselves on towards one, but only picking up a UMP off the back of that. Meanwhile, Jacob going to make some money with a MAC-10. Very much scraping the bottom of the barrel here. So hope yet again, as Jacob is going to take down Astro. He can't finish it off. However, Brodie he can.
He can indeed. Already 2 kills here for the CT side. They didn't force into this one, so it's not the end of the world for them. 2 kills when you are full eco is more than enough. Well, I'll say the bare minimum, right, to be happy with. Obviously, if the other team has 5 alive, then their money's going to build up so much. But when you go for a full eco and you get 2 guns out of their hands, that's what? $7,000-8,000 worth of investment there when you think about how much they have to pay to invest into the guns and utility. But still, 3 rounds in the lead now for Imperial. The first buy round comes in. It's going to be the single AWP setup here, but then again, look at the nades on the CT side. You don't see this very often on the first buy round after the CT side loses their pistol and still has money and nades and utility to bring into the first buy round. Astro now playing towards connector. But still, a default coming from Imperial.
Astro looking towards this lower ramp push. If it comes out on towards his B site, he's basically saying, okay, if one comes here, I want to get that first pick, and then I'm going to look up towards long and swap crosshair angles so that Reza can reposition, and then try and play off the back of that, of course, Rezu. A play that has been stepped up in the previous match, and that really kind of brings into life this CeX side. But this first round is going to be ever so important for them. Build back into things, especially when you're on that CT side of train. There's Reason going to pick up that bomb. Imperial still kind of just worming their way around a lot of these angles. Pretty dead set in their default right now. Still throwing out some flashes, kind of just saying, okay, can we bait CeX into any aggression here? Are they going to overextend? Are they going to gift us something within the first 50 seconds?
Yeah, and if they do overextend into the AWP of Astro, that's a big question, right? Is Imperial going to make the same mistake that CeX made on Nuke, on their T side, where they weren't flashing angles properly, and they opened up Jacob to find so many kills in the mid-round, the mid-portion of the game for his team? Astro is not one of those players that's very impactful in the mid-round. He's very good at getting aggressive early and finding openings for his team there. Then again, saying that he's actually very good in clutches, surprisingly.
35 seconds now. All but time is beginning to run on out. CT side now begin to push. Brody C just going to extend on towards Reason. Jacob is going to respond with a nice little hip shot though on towards JD. And that buys time for this CT side to play with. They still got distance. Look at Connor over towards B doing pretty much nothing here. Now try to kind of pin back the CT side. Meanwhile, Boaster going to be there from behind. He could pop off it and take down Brody C, but no, he strays to the left. That means his position is going to be held. Boaster pushes further on up though, however, and that's where he can find it. Connor straight through the side of smoke on towards Astro, leaving Rezu to do all of the work. 1 versus 3, make that 1 versus 2, but jumps onto the bomb train, and that right there is where he shall lie, where he shall fall, as Imperial will get themselves their first buy. Yet again, an identical start here.
I was going to say deja vu, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shaky stuff for CeX, but it's so early to really dictate how the CT side is going to go.
It's like the game starts, right, and they're very comfortable, and as the game progresses and proceeds, they get more and more comfortable. Players like Astro start to open up more. But still, we saw Nuke them go 0-6, 0-7, I think it was 0-6 down, and somehow managed to claw it back to 10-10. Imagine if they had a better start on their T side there, CT side there. But still,
imagine the reality as well as they pick up 1 round. Imagine if they don't then follow up with that second and they get reset.
Exactly.
That kind of 7-1, you then kind of ask the question, okay, was that 1 round really that valuable?
And this is CT train, right? This isn't like T side Nuke where the more and more people play it, the better and stronger, and the more of the meta where T rounds are so feasible now. This is CT side train, and you've got a star opera like Astro. They shouldn't be 0-5 down here. They need to be getting rounds on the board ASAP.
Well, this first buy going to be a huge part of that, but in the meantime, it is just a mop-up that comes on through these pistols, having a bit of impact. Jacob can decide, you know what, maybe today's the day that I just jump on down as he ends himself. So that full damage. Connor, meanwhile, is going to take advantage on towards Astro. Brody C, 1 versus 3. If he can find himself just another pick here, that would be great for him. And considering this angle, I'd say he's got a pretty good shot. That smoke going to act as a nice little shroud. Connor, 6 HP is what he'll walk away with.
Easy, easy, easy. So, 0-5. CeX, they need rounds on the board ASAP. Let's take a look at the money as well. T side, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 as players, so they will be able to reinvest if they do lose the following round. CeX, though, the AWP on Astro, 4 rifles as well to boot. And look at the nades as well. 3 Molotovs, so they can hold off these pushes. Smokes galore, flashbangs. Let's see if they can use their counter nades properly, use their smokes well, and have well-timed Molotovs to hold off the pushes of Imperial.
Reason looking to curve down a few shots on towards these trains, of course, to CeX now. They're left in a predicament where now is their time to shine. Now is where they need to appear. They're 5 rounds in, they've yet to find anything. Connor already straight through the smoke on towards Reza, reading him like a book. As Imperial strike forward to get themselves their first pick. Now looking for just a second. Astro prancing around this bomb train over towards this B side, but his input going to be limitless as the smoke is still perfectly placed. Eventually it will fade though. That could buy an opportunity, but he wants to resmoke that. Gdansky toying with that pushing, but if he throws a single flash here, that he can get that entry on towards the site, and then he relies so much on Brody C to be the supporting figure here. And so he shall. A headshot on towards Connor, the perfect way to start off the show. Gdansky still toying with the idea of going for the counter-aggression. The timing here needs to be perfect, and he's going to get away with it. Astro will fall, looking for a second on towards Brody, and Gdansky is going to get away with it. It is going to be a response, though, from JD and LS. Both of them go aggressive at the same time, and both with identical success now bring it to a 2 versus 2. This round coming to a crucial head as Reason going to get that bomb down. CeX still ever so far from this site, but they have time to play with. They do have a kit after all.
No smoke though, so the kit is actually as impactful as it should be. This round is crucial for CeX to have any chance of doing well in their first half on the CT side. Gdansky playing in front of the brown train here. But JDD coming behind, might actually get the timing here. And might get the timing well, but look where Reason and Gdansky are playing. First one falls. But Reason, the bomb is planted exactly for him, and JDD is on 22 HP.
Him being solo really doesn't do him any favors at all now. He needs to land the first few shots. It's all going to be on this continuing barrage. Tries to stick to the fuse. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Lets off it just at the most unopportune time as Reason will take him down. Imperial slaying the dragon at this point as they charge on forward. Spear into CeX. 6-0. This is a dominating start to train. CeX really have a hole to dig themselves out of, and this is why they're forcing right now. Their money is good on a few players, so they can get up 2 rifles, but Astro and Brody C, with just these pistols, really is going to be ever so difficult for them.
3 players of 4 bought. They had enough to drop over an M4 to Astro, but instead of those who bought, or someone bought me, something like that. This is a very weird buy. Then again, we saw a Nuke how strong they were on their quality buys, and JDD peeking in between the trains. Will fall, Reason with a double frag. Gdansky finding Brody C. LS there trying to make miracles. Makes it 2 versus 3. One man disadvantage here. Rezu could catch his player off guard and make it 2 versus 2.
Surely he has been hurt. Surely Reason knows what is going on, but he doesn't know. Rezu somehow gets away with that one unscathed. Gets a pick in the process. LS peeking over towards Ivy. Gets to really pull out his hand and strike down on towards Jakem. Leaving Wendansky yet again the clutch on out, but this is Wendansky we're talking about. He is a man that wins these rounds. He is the man that shows up in a time of need for Imperial as they look for their 7th. A 1 versus 1. A minute to play with Wendansky. The world is his oyster. He can go anywhere he so dear pleases. And not only that, but he has that rifle. That's going to be so important when his opposition is just playing with that UMP.
They know where the bomb is though, and Rezu has started to get an inkling as to what is going on. Wendansky anticipating Rezu to rotate in, not from Pop Dog, but from the White Halls and B. But luckily for him, Rezu is pushed in towards Green Train, and now he has a perfect angle on the bomb, and where Wendansky is slowly rotating into. High chance here that Wendansky goes down Pop Dog, and Rezu here towards Blue Train, sorry, has a very high chance of winning this one.
Rezu clearly in the favoured position here. But range is starting to become a really pertinent factor now, because look at Rezu. He was in a good position, but he's actually second-guessed himself almost. He's fallen back towards Ivy, which allows Wendansky to get that bomb down. Now he gets a little bit closer, but Wendansky is going to check this angle. But Rezu gets close and personal, takes the fight to him, and will prevail. CeX around on the board, but this is literally deja vu. 6-1 now.
And they get reset.
Is it that alternate reality where they do get reset, and then they get crushed for the rest of the half? Is that so likely?
This 1v1 from Rezu could be a blessing in disguise if they do fall into this subsequent one here. Money on the side of CeX, the half-buy coming in means that Brody C has 6k as well. 2 players had $2,000 left. Those players now were on 6 grand before they reinvested. Single AWP setup on the side of CeX and 5 rifles on the side of Imperial. This could be a set A execute. Potentially, actually let's take a look, yeah. Will probably be slowly walk towards Pop Dog. And then try and pin to the A-bomb side from Pop Dog and from A main. But then again, I mean, I keep looking at the radar and different things suggest very, very different outcomes.
Look at the smoke though, look at the gap that Rezu has to play with. He's going to fire on a through view, but he doesn't get anything at all. When you have that sort of advantage, you need to take it. You need to make a play off the back of that, as now all is but lost. The 5 versus 5, the round effectively reset, the floor has been wiped clean. And CeX now have to come up with a different game plan, a different approach for their CT side. As Imperial are all repositioning, spreading out across the map, really saying, okay, where can we find these picks? Where can we have an impact of our own? So much confidence on them, and rightly so.
Confidence in Imperial. But the thing for CeX right there, Rezu spots 3 players at the top of B, and there isn't a response from the CT side, right? LS should expect there to be weak defense towards Ivy, and he is right now, right? He's making the right play 20 seconds too late, and this is the problem. The T's have already rotated in. Boaster, if he finds the opening towards LS here, this could be the opening that Imperial need to close out this round and reset the economy of CeX.
You set the round out for us, you scripted the play. Now all we need is the answer to that equation, as LS is going to be there to peek on out. He's the man ready, waiting, lying in bait as he finds himself the first headshot, but can he double dip for a second? Yes, he can. He's going to eventually get traded down, but Brody C still being that man to pull through for the CT side. He gets the frag on towards Jake, and Wendansky's going to take advantage of Astro, hitting a flick with the AWP, however, but Wendansky is still popping off. How much is he going to do for this T side? Brings it back to a 1 versus 2. Going to try and take the fight to JD and Connector. Isn't quite able to find the shot, however, but JD pushing around this train. Wendansky could actually have a shot here, but he isn't going to spot him out. JD will take him down, and CeX, they won't get reset. Deja Vu still taking hold.
Money is still low, though. 2 players surviving there on the side of CeX. Unless if he buys an M4. I believe he got dropped, actually, so yeah. Brody C going to buy, but look, only a flashbang there for him. Still, 2 mollies on the side of the CT side, so they can hold off the pushes. They're going to be anticipating a weak economy on the side of Imperial. And it's exactly that. They go for the force buy here. Can CeX finally dent the economy of Imperial? And a good play from Astros. He does not anticipate himself to be playing versus another AWP.
Yeah, nice little read and a nice little reward he will get for that as he charges on forward, challenges Wendansky. And the perfect player to remove in a round such as this now is their kind of firecracker ability to clutch this one out, just removing him alone. Really kind of sets the pace for Imperial to now go, okay, we have to rethink how we're going to approach this. Is with just a mixed bag of weaponry, 2 Tech-9s and 2 AK-47s. They want to find themselves a pick, but they also want to go out together. I think the favouring factor for Imperial in this round will be tight-knit aggression as a unit instead of going for this kind of spread-out split push.
Yeah. With the man down disadvantage, Imperial here, they're going to have to group together like you've just said, right? If they go for that split play, and they're going to be in two, and they're going to be split in twos. The problem is, we want something that we didn't see from CeX, right? CeX, they pushed, and they were hesitant. They went alone, isolated. Rezu pushing through smokes alone. For Imperial, they're going to have to push together here. 40 seconds on the clock here. Smoke still on Rezu. Flashbangs as well. So Rezu could actually smoke heaven here, and then hold towards lower. Instead, we'll just take the Jordan and take down Connor.
Getting the easiest frag of his life almost there as Connor just going to present himself on a silver platter. Right over to Rezu. Meanwhile, JD going to get a frag on towards Jacob here, straight through the edge of that smoke there. Leaving Reason to try and force the issue back in hand for Imperial, but that seems like so much to ask at this point. As Poster just going to walk out a ramp, bomb in his back pocket. Dazed and confused, a deer in headlights as Reason next in line to be hit by a car. The CeX beginning to get themselves well and truly through this one, 3-6.
Big stream being hit by a car. I'd rather be hit by a car than a bullet to the face, I'll tell you that. Anyway, 3-6, only 3 rounds separating these two teams now. Full eco on the side of Imperial. Connor there with Deagle. Let's see if he can do something that Brody C did in the previous map. Nice, some nice one digs. But still. 4 kits on the CT side. And Brody C with a Molotov as well to hold off the pushes from these pistols. CeX now into this round. They need to have as many players stay alive as possible to build up their bank, to fight back the push and the pressure for Imperial.
Astro again though, a nice little peek from him. If he can find himself one and then back off, then there's value in it for him, and so he shall. Connor will fall. Astro just going to run on back and bank on his teammate yet again. A nice little kind of situation for him, and him being in that position there just nets him just even more, because when Imperial eventually go for this push on towards B, this barrage, it's just another first pick. Another frag that makes that situation just a little bit easier. It's Imperial on a mission to get themselves a bomb plant. It's going to be a lot of aggression coming out from heaven here. In fact, all of them coming from heaven, just trying to avoid the AWP, which is a nice little read. But Rezu is a man that can't be missed, can't be dodged, as he picks up a double kill. Brody C, the supporting actor yet again to take down Boaster. And Rezu is going to mop that one down speed. CeX 4-6 now starting to bring things back to play.
Slow starts on the side of CeX. Mirror team like North. When you think about them, quite similar, right? You've got inexperienced players of high skill, and one of the problems that North face at the moment is the fact that starts are so slow. They always go 0-4, 0-6 down, and then eventually in the latter stages of the first half, that's when they pull things back. And the thing for them is they carry it through, right? CeX on the T side of Nuke, they couldn't carry through the momentum. Can they do it on train?
Certainly isn't asked, but so far so good. Bring it back to 4-6 really thins out that gap now. Because Imperial going to be left with a bit of a lackluster presence in the last few rounds, but now is really the time to step up if they want to have an impact here and start to dictate the fact that they will win this half. But with 1 minute 20 on the clock, there is no rush for Imperial at all. They really are a team that like to dictate the pace of play. As with all this utility, why not? Get those smokes set up, get those flashes ready to be employed. But Astro, very smart position for him, because when they fall back, that could be a pick that he can find just as they begin their execute.
Yeah, and it actually holds off a whole portion of the map, right? The problem is he shouldn't be here with the AWP. A player that should be pushing and probing for information towards Ivy typically should be a rifler, right? You want your AWPer to be in a position where you anticipate the T's to be. You spot no on Ivy, 40 seconds left. They're going to be towards B, Pop Dog, or A main. Anyway, Astro sprinting away from Ivy, heading towards A main, heading and peeking towards A main. The problem is that the push is coming towards B. Brody C there, the double spray down. Can he get any more?
Rezu just going to be given free reign on towards ramp as well. Boaster just not looking at him, not wanting to acknowledge his existence almost. Jacob going to hold the flank from behind. That's a frag, sure. But in a 1 versus 3 with 15 seconds left practically, there is but no time for him to make a play. It's going to be another round for CeX.
So the point I was trying to make there was who should be the rotator, who should be pushing for information, and I think a good team to study and to look and compare to. I mean, obviously UKCS is UKCS, right? To compare to a team like SK on train. But for SK, first job on his CT side is to push and probe for information, right? With the rifle, and then that sets up Fallen, other teammates like Taco. Well, Taco's the B player, but once Fur gets information, that's when Fallen can rotate into B. Fallen can be playing different angles, different positions based on what Fur grants them in terms of information. LS, being the Ivy player, should be the one pushing. You saw Astro is towards Ivy. He's not in the position where the T's are going to be going. You want the AWP to have the impact in the middle of the round, at the early portion of the round. You don't want Astro rotating into a bomb site in a 1 versus 2.
For sure. Reason now going to be looking for an early frag on towards Brody C, and he's going to be gifted it as Pop Dog, proving to be a vulnerability. JD on the flip side, aggression tied in with a teammate as well. So nice little team play here. But Tech9's going this aggressive. This should be something that this T-side will take full advantage of. 2 frags up now, looking for a third, and still Rezu so close. He's able to find one, but now he needs to back off, and so he shall. Nice little response, though, from him to at least find one in the process, but very, very risky.
It is. Rezu trying to make a play, trying to equalise the numbers, and he did well. Found one, and might find another one here. When Dunsky is caught off guard from a 5 versus 3 to a 3 versus 3, 1 minute on the clock as well. And Rezu finding that frag there means that CTs know exactly where the Ts are, and that is towards A. But do they anticipate Jacob to be so far pushed up already?
Certainly is the question of the hour when it comes down to this round. 12th, of course. 40 seconds. Jacob, not quite a one-tap, but a frag either way. Going to smoke off LS. Flashes him as well, just really adding into that. Rezu still trying to respond, though. Wants to step up in this round, and he has done so much for his team. LS one-tapping on towards both the Rezu, dropping the bomb, which with 20 seconds left really makes Jacob have to go forward and rush this one down. Rezu going to fall back further into Connector, trying to make Jacob chase him. And I love that, because with 15 seconds, Jacob can't chase him. He has to get straight on towards that bomb and plant it. But look how nervous he is. He goes, okay, I don't know where they are. I don't know what I can do here. And Rezu gets to mop him up off of that rotate. And it's going to be CeX getting themselves another round. But it's not just another round, really, is it? It's equalization point.
Rezu top fragging for his side. On the previous lineup that had Thomas and Smuya, this was a very rare occasion. Fair play. Fair play. Rezu's the one pushing, decimating the T offense, right? These players are holding a default. Rezu is equalizing the numbers. He's making the plays to bring CeX back into the rounds. If you play so static after losing so many members, it's a hard round to win. Connor already pushing up Pop Dog. Can the T's find any more?
Look at Rezu again, though. He's going to be a thorn in the side of the T-side. Finds himself one. Is going to get quick flicked by Boaster, however, and that will nullify his impact. As JD and Astro left in a 2 versus 4. Astro over towards Connector. JD going to find himself a double kill. Pierces the bomb down as well. And that slows down the entirety of this matchup, as Imperial no longer want to rush into this one. They have what is effectively after plans, but without the bomb going down, as Windansky going to take the fight from the elevated angle and gifted the head of JD. But Astro is not a man that will just give on up. With a minute to play with, he most certainly can try and make this one work, and holding the angle as well. He's right in between where they have to cross to get to that bomb.
Yep, has full utility. Thing is, when he shoots this up, they all know exactly where he is, but they anticipate it. Finds the first. Windansky really finds it.
Astro.
2 frags there for him. Windansky made the right play. He went for the trade. The problem was Astro just too quick there. Finds both of those frags, wins the 1 versus 2, and I mentioned you don't want Astro rotating in last to be in the 1 versus 2. Well, fair play, mate.
If you can make it work, that's great. I think with those sort of comments, though, right, it's all about not necessarily what can happen in those quick-witted clutch moments, but more what you expect to happen in standard CS, which you can't predict that.
You can't predict this sort of stuff, but then again, Astro, I mentioned in the preface of the game that he's good in clutches, right? Jacob up on the T side finds the first, but Astro might be finding the return. He does indeed. 4 versus 4, 7-6 on the scoreline. CeX now finally in the lead.
I like how much Astro's been able to kind of do over towards his B site in terms of getting those picks from both Heaven and Ramp.
What's mental is actually how fast he's been integrated into the team. He joined what? 4 weeks ago?
I think it was 4 weeks ago.
I mean, they had the Polish player. Can't remember his name, he was with D. He was kicked out for Astro. And no one ever heard of him. Never played for a team before, just pugged. Played Facets, MM, the lot, 4.6k hours played. He has the mechanics. And it seems like there could be something here to lead into more.
It was all online too with Astro's pickup. There was no LAN results to back him. He'd only ever been to 1 before that. That was an I series. And he went with his mates as a mixed team. It wasn't serious teams, yes. Exactly, and went just dumps it out of groups. So for them to pick him up was hella ballsy. But it really has paid them some rewards, and I do think that they can build in to be a talented team. But they have a long way to go, and I think that really is
for sure
the big storyline for CeX.
The fundamentals are here in terms of the skill. The dedication, these players are young. I know Brody, C, Astro. I mean, Astro's got 120 hours in the past 2 weeks. He is pugging. He is playing.
Watching demos too as well, which I do like. This has been a big topic of conversation recently, but either way, Astro with the AWP, missing the first shot, but lands the second. It is a huge wrist though to the hands of Boaster as he's going to go ever so aggressive. Molotov and reflex towards Connector. The smoke is going to go down by his teammate though to nullify his own utility usage. But Boaster holding this angle is still going to be strong, as Astro just going to walk dead set into him. Rezu going to take the elevated angle up towards Heaven to be able to punish Jacob. These tracks are all coming in for the CT side quickly. They dismantle them. Reason the last man to play over towards his oil train has to go aggressive here. Otherwise, he's going to find himself pincered, and so he will. The Scorpion side of CeX will pistol whip their opposition yet again. Because Imperial, what was so strong from them? What was so good? Where is that at now? 7-6, CeX in the lead.
They've lost, is it 7 or 8 in a row? 8 in a row.
Every single round in this matchup has been a string. CeX won all of their rounds right now, all 8
6 in a row,
back to back. Imperial, exact same. You don't see that every single day, especially on train, bear in mind.
Yeah, typically it is 2-1, 3-1 in favour of the CT side. But still, 5 rifles here on the side of Imperial. Utility strong as well. They can go for an execute and flash grenades towards that side. So these players already out by blue tends to be a fast explosion towards the A-bomb side.
LS going to go for a bit of a continuing spray down. Isn't able to connect anything just yet, but eventually straight through the smoke. Astro, meanwhile, with the AWP, is going to do so much for his team here in terms of just creating space. Poster going to burn away in the fire and the flames there on towards Astro. JD going to go for a lovely little spray, a triple kill for him, as CeX will win the half 9-6. I said they were a momentum-based team. That right there is really one hell of a ride.
It is indeed, and can CeX keep riding it? 9 rounds in a row, the momentum is definitely in their favour. If they lose this pistol here, and Imperial can claw it back to 9-9, if the bomb doesn't go down, and they lose it, they're in a full eco, it could be 9-9. And from there, what we saw when it was 10-10, right? Very close game, but Imperial's experience pulled through, and they won that one.
What was that? I don't even. I'm so glad there were no camera on you then.
Yeah, whatever. 9-6 is the scoreline going into the pistol round.
Pull it together. Just compose yourself. It's all well and good. It is going to be the pistol round though. Boaster going to try and tap through the smoke. Isn't able to find anything just yet. They're still searching for a little headshot there and here. Reason is going to try and find himself a few picks. Boaster and Connor will both combine though. And Reason still trying to just claw one ahead. As Brody C will be the next man to fall. JD going to have to charge face first. Unfortunately, that is just going to be what bites them back, this CT side. Pretty much a perfect pistol round from them, and it really kind of opens the floor to discussion of CeX and their pistols. Without a huge play, without a 3K or a 4K from one guy, they don't get them.
They've won 1 pistol and lost 3, right? And you look at the names on here, you've got Brody C, sick of pistols. Astro, I mean, he's playing so much, he's got a lot of hours. He's good at pistols, let's just say that. JDD, very, very good headshot aim as well.
You can be good individually though, but if there's no composition, no actual strategy to your pistol, that's where they fall apart, right? They get picked off by CT sides.
A mistake they made as well is when you go for that B play and you get the bomb down, you need to have players push in towards connector to hold off the rotations because you don't have utility to do that. And talking about lack of utility, pure aim coming out from Jacob.
Oh, Jacob is just going to blow the floor, sweeping them through. A quick kick to the face for CeX as Imperial just going to delete them off the face of the earth. Great little frags there coming in.
So, Imperial win the subsequent round. And actually, I was speaking to the players of CeX, and they told me they got a little something saved, a little strat they wanted to save and pull out when they needed it. And that was simply lose a round, full eco, and then force buy on the 3rd round. Try and catch your opposition off guard. Problem is, if it doesn't work, then that's when things go very bad.
Aggression from the CT side though. They're expecting to push an eco. They are going to get the 1-for-1 trade LS. We're certainly going to be giving up the ruse there. And Imperial going, okay, hold on a second. They're on a buy here. Let's back off. Let's rescind this control. We do not want to be in this situation. I like this from Imperial. They've realized that they screwed up their read. In fairness to them, who would read into CeX doing that? They have pulled out a bit of a hat trick in this one. But they still have to actually make the round work. A smoke. Utility going out over on towards this B site. Molotov on towards ramp as well. They're all trying to slow them down, but CeX, they are out. They're walking on through. They're not finding any of the frags.
Astro pushing into the site, managed to catch Reason in the back there. JDD as well finds Boaster 2 versus 4. And the round implodes for Imperial. They get caught off guard. We're going for that triple push towards B. And now it's Jacob with us.
Much slower than we expected. Took CeX a while to get themselves onto the site, but now they're there. They're looking to mold into it like concrete. Nothing can budge them, nothing can move them. As JD will pick up a double kill on that one to shut them down. CeX 10-8. That little hidden play, little gem,
I mean, it worked.
There's reward. A huge reward on that.
It's a high risk though, right? If they lose that, then instantly it goes from 9-8 to 10-8 in 10-9 in favor of Imperial because you lose that and you have to full eco. So very, very risky. Used to catch your opponent off guard and definitely did. And CeX take that one, making it 10-8. 2 rounds in the lead on the T side, and now the money is low for Imperial. Actually, I say that. They've gone for the force buy. 2 Famises, 2 rifles, and an AWP on Jacob. Aggression here from Connor. We saw it from Brody C. Hopefully he won't run into Pop Dog and try to run up the ladder like last time.
For sure, but I think one really pertinent point for Imperial is the usage of the word force buy is quite interesting, right? Because the only thing they're really lacking is utility. Everything else,
wow, yeah, just saw.
they pretty much are peachy on. Famises aren't terrible rifles by a long
kit.
shot. Kits, utility, that's really the weak part. So hopefully for Imperial, they've realized that. They need to play around that, right? They have to adopt some sort of play in terms of pacing. I said they dictated that. Now is the time to prove that point.
Reason holding towards Ivy. Rezu peeking, and actually the time of the nade goes to the flashbang, but unfortunately for him will be caught off guard. JDD as well, falling, finds the kill. But Windansky suddenly makes it 3 versus 3 at the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Rams head straight into his opposition there with the famous continuous spray for him. Will net himself a double kill. Very aggressive stuff, but very rewarding. As Jacob with the ADP looking to really lurk in the backlines at this point. Boaster so close, so personal. Rezu from above though, but Boaster is going to give himself up. His head will be spotted. Astro is actually going to steal that one away from Rezu. As Jacob, now with his work cut out for him with this ADP, will he go for the cheeky wallbang up towards heaven? That's a question I would have asked. Windansky right in towards behind Jacob. How does he get himself in that position without being spotted? Absolute madness as Astro, the clutch player, looking to do it all over again. Jacob is going to peek into him with the pistol, but he's got the double peek, the support of his teammate from behind. When Dansky and Jacob will get themselves the round, the defuse is being all but stuck. And even though it's 10 seconds, it's still a round for Imperial.
Money as well.
Close.
Oh, that
Very
was
close.
very, very close. Still, though, obviously, when you're playing in your in-game, you have that the song, the 10-second song time or whatever. So you do know if you have it or you don't. So there wasn't really too much risk there. Anyway, 10-9, not 10-1. Wow. Money on the side of CeX is fairly decent. They're going to go for the quasi buy here. No sets of body armor apart from Brody C. 4 smokes. This could be an execute towards outside. They want to get the bomb down. And if they do, we could be seeing an AWP come out onto Astro, which is definitely one of the pivotal players.
May well be bold to say this, but CeX, they tend to win these. They have very good
we've
shot.
already
Their odds
discussed why on Nuke.
are huge in these situations. Of course, you can always hope that Brody C, if he goes up close and personal, gets a rifle. Just look at those smokes. All position themselves out on towards this site. A pathway for CeX to charge forward. Rezu going to be there with a Glock in hand. Wins a 1 versus 1 up against Jacob. That right there is ridiculous. Meanwhile, Windansky, though, is going to drop them down, cutting off this aggression. Astro is still pushing. Oh, Connor piercing yet again a bomb plant. Astro trying to keep the dream alive, but unfortunately it's all but done. A triple kill in that round on towards Connor. He's going to be happy as anything, as it is going to be equalized 10-10. But the most important part about this equalization, it's not like CeX are done and dusted.
No, it is 10-10, but last time on Nuke when it was 10-10 and that buy came in, Imperial took it, and they took multiple rounds in a row. And it went to like, what, 14-11, and then from there Imperial closed it out to make it 16-12. So, CeX, they want revenge. Finally, the scores are tied. The problem is, though, we saw CeX have a very commanding set of 9 rounds in a row. What happens when they string rounds 1-1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1? Will they lose the momentum? You can see already they've lost 1. They've won 1 and lost 4.
That really is going to play a factor in things, but for now, the immediate future is going to be the brawl that's about to take place. Both of these teams still looking to show who has the stamina to outlast in this boxing fight. CeX almost certainly looking for a quick, almost gut punch on towards Connor here as he's so close, so personal, and so blind.
Finds the kill. They know that Connor's in there. They heard him push. And with that, the final only kill, though. Reason and Boaster to hold the B-bomb site together. They need to hold off the push from the CeX side. CeX is waiting for Rezu and LS to slowly creep themselves in through Whitehorse and join the rest of the pack and make it a 5-man push onto this B-bomb site.
Slow in play, but it is going to be smokes going out now. The nades all railing on towards the CT side. JD going to drop on towards Boaster. Already 1 pick for them to play with Reason, trying to respond, but LS's position here could be ever so pivotal. Because not only will he get the bomb down, but then this after part really going to bear some rewards, as Windansky is going to start to have a bit of an impact, but this is where LS can come into play now. He can get himself up towards ramp. The duo on towards Astros. He's deleted from the map. Lovely little crisp one tap, as Rezu going to swing in from connector, be the lurker of the hour. The CeX, they will win that buy, and they will begin to push on back ahead again, but Imperial still got money.
You say they still got money, but the problem is they haven't got enough, right? 4,000 on Boaster, a saved AWP on Jacob. You can see already, went up armor as well. They could have dropped it to Boaster and him by armor, but the problem is Jacob is your AWPer. We saw Boaster AWPing a little bit yesterday, and it wasn't very successful. So maybe confidence knocked a little bit. Still, CeX, they win the 10-10 round this time. They finally win the pivotal one that makes the biggest difference. Astro taking down Connor as well. Resi finds the second. So 5 versus 3. The AWP is gone. Goodbye, Jacob.
What we can hit out with the money of Imperial, though, is it does mean that when they go into this next buy, it's going to be everything they could ever dreamed of, right? It's going to be the AWP, it's going to be all the utility, which is something that Imperial have missed in quite a fair few.
1.9, they're going to get 1.4k for losing that one, 1.9k, so... Ish, you're going to have, what? M4, smoke, and a flashbang? You're going to have an AWP drop over to Jake, and that's about it, to be fair.
Missing the Molotovs, but...
Which is important on a map like Train.
True, true.
So many choke points. Pop Dog, A main, IV, Ramp, Heaven. It's not like an open space. Very, very tight choke points on a map like Train. You have to push through those choke points, and then it becomes very open outside.
I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what Imperial's choices are going to be, and that's kind of, again, the beauty of the situation. Of course, you've got that 6k on Boaster, 4.3, 4.6 as well, and towards Windansky, as they all begin to buy up into this one now. Smokes, flashes are plenty. Boaster going to be the man to get up that kit. Just one kit, which is always going to be the difficult one there.
Then again, it is M4, smoke, flash on 3 of these players. And
that's what I'm happy about. I want them to use these smokes, though.
Yeah, and you've got so many smokes. CeX, they're not playing too fast. You can see they always wait for the clock to go down slowly. And as I was saying that, they're going and rushing down Pop Dog. An early smoke towards Pop will slow them down. Windansky here, so strong in the first smoke. Can he keep it and hold off to the attack?
Gonna have his work cut out for him when it comes down to trying to keep this. He's looking both towards the head of Rezu, but not only that, Pop Dog as well is going to be able to find that first pick, though. Ellis is going to find the quick return trade. JD now trying to charge on forward, but look at the position coming down for Pop Dog. Boaster as well to the in from Ivy. This is going to be great. Boaster running right in the backlines here. A double kill for him. Jacob, an AWP shot on towards Brody C. I don't even know why they're both in Pop Dog, but fair play to them, as you say. JD going to be there to try and at least finds himself one aggression. But a double peek from Jacob is going to steal this one out from Imperial. We saw some madness over towards Ivy, some madness in Pop Dog. But all in all, it's a round back on the board for Imperial. The smokes actually bring a pretty big part of that on towards Pop Dog there.
Yep, but the money is still strong on the CeX side. You can see 6,000, 5,000, some of those players. So we're going to see no AWP. Instead, 4 AKs and an SMG, the UMP on Resume. Conversely, though, for Imperial, 3 UMPs, 5 mets and an AWP, so firepower is low for the Imperial side. CeX, they can definitely take advantage of this, but it's looking like they're going to go for that B contact play. They have so much utility, though. That's the thing, they're all bunched up together, and you can see the push has come in. They're starting to suss it out. There's 3 players here from the Imperial side. They've started to wonder, why is there no noise outside? You can see Connor again has pushed in a main.
This is going to be just a cluster bomb from CeX. It's going to be one big push, but the downside to one big push is you can have that choke point. Reason, can it be ever so close, but he's going to walk right into the crosshair of Astro. And that right there is the biting point. That right there is the situation where CeX go, okay, we've got ourselves an entry. Charge, boys, run forward. Boaster going to try and just find himself a bit of a double. He's going to get away with it on towards JD just as the second he will fall. Astro still there, but Rezu lurking actually on Train and really bearing some huge rewards. Jacob with the AWP trying to find himself a leg shot, but that's going to be all he can find. He taps that defuse, tries to bait still. Another peek from Ellis is going to come on through, but Jacob surely should be able to get any more here. Because Astro, aggression yet again. Another trade though for Windansky. Brings it back to a 1 versus 1, but he's reloading. He's pushing on forward. Rezu, too close for my liking here. Oh, Windansky has no idea. And Rezu will clutch out another round. Reset for CeX and the economy. There is nothing. There is no hope for smokes. There is no hope for flashes. It literally is empty.
They're going to have to force this one as well. Reason they're 1.5k, Connor 1.4. Money is dwindled and the chance as well for him to be able to take this one. They're going to force this one. Thing is, when they force this, right? Instantly if they lose, it's 14-11. They have to save. And then it's 15-11. They need to win 4 CT rounds in a row when they actually have the buy come in. This is the problem. They're going to be pistols for the majority of the rest of this game if CeX can close out this one.
Yeah, CeX realizing that they are the commanding team right now. They're sitting in a chip lead at a poker table where Imperial all but falling behind. They've gone all in to try and make back what they've lost. But they are swiftly ending up in a huge debt at this point. These pistols going to have to really try and play off of these close range shots. Boaster looking up towards heaven really isn't the fight you want to be taking. Meanwhile, Connor with the deagle, however, going to find himself some beautiful, very artistic 1Ds. if the gods are on his side. Of course, the interview of Jacob certainly is the difference in this round. I think there has to be mentioned, the one man with firepower. How does he have an impact here?
It's very hard for him to have the impact. You can see he's towards Ivy. CeX, they've heard the AWP rattle off, and now they have gone and conjugated towards B. Once again, the old faithful. It worked for them last time. It's worked for them for the majority of the time as well. Reason playing close to the 5-7. He could wreak havoc here.
Reason, so close, so personal. Players already presenting their feats to him. A nice little gift wrap present. Boaster is going to respond though back yet again, and this is kind of working out for them. Reason still in such a good position. CeX, they don't want to face this one, but Astro jumps back around with his knife in mid-air. It's going to continually be punished. JD now a 1 versus 3. Reason still firing, still doing the work. A Molotov to go out yet again. Wendansky, long range with a deagle. Imperial, they make the pistols work. They are back in this one. Look at CeX, they're the team now with the iffy money. It's better, but it's still very, very iffy.
They're going to have to potentially go for the 4 spike at 1.4k now. That's very awkward for him. He could go for a UMP into the next round, but still. It's actually going to be the full eco here. CeX are going to buy into the next one. They will have AKs, but light utility, and also a light firepower on the side of LS. But still fast. They're already out A main.
Jacob looking to really have an impact here with an AWP, gets a tag, a follow-up shot as well. He's doing so much in this one. Connor is going to steal away the ace, and Astro, aggressive with the P250, is going to end him, picks up the AWP, goes for the hip shot, but it isn't going to find. Imperial, 13-13, really beginning to get the fight back in their hands. But CeX, here's where they respond. We are going to see a UMP or an SMG of some sort on towards LS, but a UMP isn't that bad by a long shot. It's actually very, very strong for the cost.
Armor penetration, the highest out of all SMGs. 25 bullets, high rate of fire. High rate of fire. 1 bullet is all it takes for Astro to take down Wendansky. 1-man lead.
Healthy start for a healthy T-side. CeX realizing the importance behind getting their 14th round. A huge milestone for them. Jacob, though, nice little adaptation from him. He realizes, okay, Astro, he's doing work with a AWP. I need to step up and do one better. But unfortunately, Astro is just going to creep right into him. The crosshair going to be undivided as Astro pushes even further now onto this B site, just playing, waiting to say, okay, when do we strike? When are the rifles? When are the SMGs all behind me? As this B site is pretty much wide open, we're only now just seeing the rotations coming in from Imperial. They are all now on this site. But it still is going to be tough for them to hold this one off. Connor needs to do some work here with the AWP. And lies gap in the smoke, though, and that's going to allow him a huge opportunity to find not only one, but give Boaster time to strike. He's going to find himself a spray down on this site. Takes down LS, takes down JD, drops the bomb. And this round is all but in control now of the CTs. Connor another through the smoke on towards Astro. A great start from CeX, but a horrible endpoint.
It is indeed. 14-13. CeX a 1-round deficit here. The money is abysmal. They forced into the last round. A gap in the smoke granted 3 kills.
If that gap wasn't in the smoke,
they would have got out
incredibly likely they would win that round.
And we could have seen a very, very different outcome. But instead, slight mishaps, slight mistakes when the pressure is on. The games are so close. You expect to see mistakes happen. Still, though, the CeX side, they're going to play for a T. Full save here, and a rush towards B, get this one over with, and then try and go for the overtime.
At this point, getting a bomb plant, though, certainly face some dividends. And Morto is going to go down to try and burn away Brody C, but he is going to be able to at least squeeze it out before he submits to the flames. Astro pistol tapping on towards Boaster, having an impact, but one frag really isn't going to change anything for the Imperial side. LS putting in a second, which we talked about it being kind of the minimal of what you expect with pistols. But at the end of the day, it is just Imperial ready to take this one down. Shady, that smoke's going to fade and he's going to die.
Sitting duck there for JD, trying to find 1 kill, and he won't. Jacob takes him down. 15 match point for Imperial. CeX now only 2 rounds behind. 2 more for OT, and once he reaches OT, it's anyone's game. Still, buy comes in. Oh, there's a lot of money there after the plant goes down. Well played there for Brody to hold his nervous to the plant. So that will grant the AWP for Astro. He's AWP on the T side. Last time I checked, he was 20 kills, 5-8 rounds ago. I don't know, I want to be seeing more. He did get the first kill on the player towards Green Train. But the middle portion of the round, where is he, right? He's one of those players, sort of like Luzza, where they're last alive, they're in their clutches. Can he have more of an impact?
Rezu, going to go aggressive. He's going to be caught out by Boaster. It's going to be a nice little trade coming from JD and a re-peek from Jacob as well. The naked land at his feet. That gives JD an opportunity to snap back on towards his head. Drops down a smoke in reflex as well to really give him a guiding path out on towards this B site. Meanwhile, Reason Gonna go aggressive towards Ivy. I like this read because it's really Imperial trying to catch this T-side off guard, and so he shall. Gets himself one. Wendansky with the ADP to catch off Astro. Brody C will respond with the aggression, but it's Connor to do the work on JD, stopping them from getting themselves out on towards these sites, leaving it all on towards Brody C's shoulders. Needs to stop this series from going 2-0, but it's so close. And so it shall. 16-13, Imperial 2-0 in the opening series of the UK Masters.